Welcome to the Stretch to Go podcast. My name is Ian Ray, your host. Today I have Karsten Keidel, based out of Streilen, Germany. He's a technical director at Baak Safety Shoes. Karsten, welcome to the Stretch to Go podcast.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I would love to see if you could introduce yourself, how you got into Baak Safety Shoes and what the name Baak is. What is the name behind the name Baak?
Okay, maybe a little bit about myself first. I'm an engineer for leather and shoe technology, and I'm in the shoe business and especially safety shoe business for around 40 years now. And 16 years of these 40 years with Baak. And Baak is quite small safety shoe company. We were founded in 1992 by Mr. Baak. So it's the family name of the founder of the company. Now it's the CEO is Mr. Grusa, which is the son-in-law of Mr. Baak, and is in second generation leading Baak. Yeah, we've been starting 1992 with just normal safety shoes like everyone else. Like maybe 12 years, 13 years ago, we've been thinking, why are we doing safety shoes or producing safety shoes as we are doing it? And is it correct that way? And then we had a close look on the foot. I have a foot here, so I can demonstrate it to you. So a regular safety shoe has a protective cap inside, which looks like this, which is from steel, can be aluminium or can be composite also, like a glass fiber. And a regular toe cap looks like this. It's straight. It protects your toes. So when something falls on the shoe, on your shoe, then your toes are protected. And now the problem is this toe cap bends straight in a straight line. Sure, it's straight, so it bends in a straight line. But when you look at the toes of the foot, they're not straight. The MTP joints, they are not in a straight line. So having a toe cap which is straight is wrong, because when you look at the foot starts, when you step on the foot, you step on here, and then on the outside of the foot you walk along, and then in this direction you bend your foot and you end on the toe. So our idea was, can we not make shoes which are bending like the foot bends? And that is when the idea of our toe cap was born. We have a toe cap which is not straight, which is extended on one side, which means when you bend your foot, then the shoe will start bending here, where it actually should bend, because the MTP joint of the smallest toe is in this area. So it would bend exactly where the foot naturally would bend. And then we extended this to the outsole. You can see we have lines on the shoe. This is exactly the outsole of the shoe, of the barefoot shoe. We have lines in here which make it easier to bend the shoe in that area. So that means when you bend your foot when you walk, you would always bend it exactly as your foot is bending. And together with the toe cap, when you see this, together with the toe cap, and in the inside we have these lines also, then it would exactly bend like the foot. So if you have a straight toe cap, it would, how can I say it, unnaturally pressure on your toes. But if you have our toe cap, then the shoe would bend completely naturally. So that was the first step actually where we came from, that we said we not only want to make shoes to keep the wearer safe, but also to keep them healthy. And we think when you use a normal safety shoe like everyone else does, then it's not good for your foot. So that's where we started to think more about the health of our wearer, to keep them healthy during the work time, because they wear the shoes for 8-10 hours a day. So that was the first step, actually. And then we were thinking, what else can we do to improve that? And one of my colleagues, he made a seminar about barefoot shoes. So he's a barefoot coach, actually. And then we said that would be a good idea. There's so many people wearing barefoot shoes, walking barefoot, wearing barefoot shoes, but they have to work safety shoes for work. And there is no shoe on the market which is certified and made for shoe wearers who are wearing barefoot shoes in their leisure time. And that was the base actually where we started the development of that.
So you've been in the industry for a while, where you have recognized the market of not having, like I said, if you were to talk about that toe cap that bends, the footbed that bends and is flexible. That's awesome that you're thinking of course, the wearer, because I've worn steel toe boots probably in the past. I'm working construction or doing type manual labor, and I think it's very utterly important to have that protection, but also that flexibility, because yes, you're in these shoes for 8 hours maybe or more, depending on what type of work you're doing. So when I first stepped on and wearing these shoes, I think it was the bed of the shoe. It's so comfortable that I could probably wear these all day. And
yeah, I think
love,
you can.
yeah, yeah. And it's crazy because that wide toe box, it does make sense.
Yeah,
I would assume
but it was
I would assume a lot of people who are in manual working, construction trades, mechanical, they're on their feet all day, so their foot gets fatigued. And like I said, they're probably coming home wanting to take off the shoes automatically because it's just in a cramped situation with their foot.
that is what normally happens. That they after a while feet really get painful also, because you have to wear it all the time. It's very hard to make a shoe like this because you have to follow the standard, you have to get your shoes certified. And I know the US has their own standard, which is the ASTM, which is, let's say, not as strong as the world standard. But we in Germany or in Europe, we need to follow the ISO EN standard, which has a lot of requirements on the shoe. So like the thickness of the outsole, you need to have at least 6 millimeter thickness of the outsole. You cannot make it thinner. That means the elasticity, the flexibility of the shoe depends, of course, on the thickness of the outsole. That means we cannot make it thinner than that. Also, the energy absorption in the heel, for instance, need to reach a certain limit, like of 20 joules, so that when you jump from a ladder or from somewhere, that your heel bone is protected. Things like that. So you have to follow all these. And that made it really hard to develop this shoe, to be honest. It took us a few years.
How many prototypes did you guys have to create to finally get this?
We had two prototypes of outsoles and 5 or 6 prototypes beforehand, because also this shoe is an S3 shoe. In the certification, it says S3. And in the ISO standard, that means it's with anti-penetration board. So when you step on the nail, you're protected, that the nail doesn't go through. This in the past was the protection used. Steel, that's a steel plate. You can imagine that this is not really bending well. So this is something not possible. Then there's some textile anti-penetration. This is the second generation, let's say. But also this is very stiff, when you try to bend it. So we found and further developed a material which is really, really flexible. You can see it. You can roll it like this. And this is the anti-penetration board, which is in there. It's a textile material which protects against the puncture of nails. So this also were steps where we said, can we find something better? Can we find something more flexible? And that was one of the points. So you have to consider the thickness, you have to consider the energy absorption, you have to consider the anti-penetration. So all this made it a really long process making this shoe.
Can you say, I know you probably didn't mention, but what would you say are the unique features that this shoe has?
Well, of course, for the wearer of barefoot shoes, it's important that the shoe has zero drop. So we have the same level all over the outsole, which is, as I said, the problem because you need to have a certain energy absorption in the heel. So you need to have this thickness of the outsole all through. So that is the major point, of course, for for people who wearing barefoot shoes, and also the wide toe box. That, of course, is very important, so that the toes have space to spread. That is, these are the two most important points, I would say.
So with the amount of feedback, did you get a lot of feedback from customers?
Yes, a lot of happy customers who said, "I've been searching for this for a long time, and I had to wear." In Germany, you have to wear safety shoes, and your employer has to supply you with the safety shoes, or has to give you an allowance for yourself to buy the safety shoes. So people working in the industry or in any business where the risk of falling object is there, they need to wear these shoes. So a lot of people who were wearing barefoot shoes in their leisure time, in their free time, they said, I cannot find a shoe which I can wear at work, which fulfills my needs. So really, it was very, very successful. The first batch was sold out in a few days, and we had really problems getting new shoes for sale, and we only get positive feedback. Where people say, I've been searching for this so long. I was so unhappy because I had to wear shoes that didn't fit me, and it was always a compromise. And now they're happy, and I'm happy also. That makes me really happy that I can give this, or that we can give these people really good shoes, which they enjoy during work. So yeah, that was very, very good positive feedback.
Are these shoes made in-house there in Germany?
No. We don't have production in Germany anymore. It is as it is in so many industries. When you do it in Germany or even in the US, it's extremely expensive to produce. So we tried, to be honest, to produce these shoes in Germany, but the problem is most of the shoe industry is out of Germany. So they have their head office. We have a head office. We do our development in Germany, but the production in the end is in Far East. We have a little bit production in Italy also, but the production in Germany is really, really expensive. So we tried to do it, but the problem is also the expertise is not there anymore. You have in the past, when the shoe production was big in Germany, you had a lot of suppliers. You could get a lot of materials and everything. They're all gone because there's no shoe industry in Germany anymore. And especially for this, when I speak about this anti-penetration board, this is something you cannot get in Germany. This is an Asian development. So unfortunately, we would love to make shoes in Germany, but there is no supply for materials or technology anymore. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate because you would love to have it if you were a brand to have everything in-house so that you don't have to ship it back and
Of
forth
course.
and
Of
really
course.
keep it there locally, supporting
Yeah.
the economy and the brand, of course.
Exactly. Yeah. Also for me, I would not have to travel so much. Yeah, but I think that is everybody wants to have cheaper things and not willing to pay the amount the things would cost when produced in Germany or the US or France or wherever. So the companies move and see where they can produce it cheaper. It's like that, unfortunately.
Yeah. So what are what you call it, some of the aspects of these safety shoes that you guys are very proud of, or that took a while even to get to the way that you guys say, hey, this is our model? What are some of the things that about the shoes that you love about it, that you say, not a lot of.
I love the flexibility of the shoe.
Mhm.
And also that when you think about all the requirements you have to fulfill in the standard, like the anti-penetration and the thickness of the outsole and the material of the outsole and so on, that we still made it possible to have a shoe which is that flexible, that wide, and that comfortable. Because the standard, the ISO standard is our law, we cannot change it. We have to fulfill it. And to use every little idea that you get to improve the shoe and still meet the standard. I think that was the greatest achievement. That was the greatest achievement. And that is what we are all proud of, to be honest, because so many people have been working on this. I mean, I'm not alone. We have our designer, she's doing developments. We have some orthopedic shoe technician who took part in that. Even our CEO took part in the development. So it's a group that achieved that, working together, and all the ideas that came from different people in that group, which then led to this shoe. I think that was a very, very great achievement. And that is what makes us all proud. And that people really enjoy the shoe and say, finally, we have a shoe that we can wear for working.
So I guess you have a Barefoot coach that's part of the team, or like that advises,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Europe is pretty well known for barefoot, I guess, accepting of barefoot shoes, and I think there's way more people who wear barefoot shoes than say here in the States. Might
Yeah.
be a cultural thing, I don't know, but I guess since I've been in barefoot shoes for past 2 years, I've noticed more brands, more people wearing barefoot shoes in Europe, and I don't know if that's more of a cultural thing or accepted more, on that side.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the look of the barefoot shoe is something which you have to get used to, because like when you look at the sneakers or something like that, they're all very slim and they look nice and elegant, but a barefoot shoe is always wide, so it looks different. Maybe that is the reason. I think you just have to wear them for a while to see the benefit. Meanwhile, I'm wearing them also, and you really feel the benefit because your foot is free. You can move easily. Your toes can move. There's nothing narrow on your shoe. And when I have to wear a regular shoe, like the elegant leather shoe with a suit, then I feel terrible because it's really painful. And I think you just have to wear it, and we also make it easy for people to switch. You received the shoe. Um, you recognize that there was another insock coming with the shoe,
Yes,
right?
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and this insock has a little heel spring. When you look at it, you can feel in the heel it's thicker than in the front. So it has
Mhm.
1 millimeter heel spring, which is for people who are not used to barefoot shoes yet, but they want to try it. And if you move to a barefoot shoe immediately, it may cause you some discomfort because you're not used to it. You're not used to standing flat. So that's why we add this insock. So we say, if you want to switch from a regular shoe to a barefoot shoe, but you don't want to do the whole step at once, then just put in the other footbed. You have still 7 millimeter heel spring, so you can get used to a lower heel spring than your normal shoes. And then you add, after 3, 4, 5 weeks, 2 months, you remove that and you put the regular footbed in, and then you have a barefoot shoe. So it makes it easier for people also to move to a barefoot shoe.
Yeah, much difference probably for those who are watching. It's kind of hard to say, but yeah, the thickness definitely is there in that heel, more cushioning for those transitioning, and I love that. I think that's great for people who who want to get into barefoot shoes, but are, I guess, in the early process of transitioning, like myself. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I was in a process. I went just straight into barefoot shoes without transitioning. I don't know if that affected me, but I went. Some people do have to transition, and I think it's probably different type of foot. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. It means like when you're used to walking in shoes with heel spring, the
mhm.
higher it is, the more you feel it than when you go to a barefoot shoe, because after a while you may have some discomfort in your I don't know the English name, the lower leg, um, because of not being used to walking barefoot for such a long period of time.
Mhm.
So I think that was a quite good idea that we put it in there, so people can get used to it. And I did not have any information yet how many people are actually using them, but it's good that we have it in the shoebox so people can decide which they feel more comfortable with.
So how has so since, I guess, the time that you guys first came out with these shoes, how have you guys transitioned now? So you came out with your shoe, your model. Are there other different types of model for you guys that you guys
Yeah,
have
yeah.
for
Let's say we have this one, which is the S3 model, which is water resistant, has the anti-penetration. We also have one shoe which is not water resistant, which has some openings on the side, which is more for indoor use, so that the moisture can get out of the shoes. You don't feel so warm inside the shoe. We also have a boot to this one, the one that you have. We have a boot which will be coming now for people who need the higher shoes, especially like on construction sites, when you need more stability, and you could wear the boot. So the boot is coming. Yeah, we are working on probably a new line with even more space in the toe. I think that will be probably rather end of next year or beginning of 27, because it takes time. And we are developing a new toe cap now, but yeah, I guess that is far in the future, because it always takes time to develop new styles, to get them certified, to get them produced and in the market. So that's nothing which will happen very soon. But yeah, we are improving. We're trying to get another line, probably another outsole, another design. Yeah, we want to make more in this direction, and because we see the success of them and that people are happy with them. Yeah, we will maybe also, when we get replies from customers, they say, could you do a shoe like that or a shoe like that? Maybe a shoe in white or whatever. Then we are thinking about it, we're developing it, and we will see where we go from the future. But I'm very confident in the future.
what are some ways that you guys are creating more awareness, more ways for people to learn more about your shoes? Are you guys doing like outreach, community events,
Yeah,
pop-up shops?
we have some cooperations with influencers, especially here in Germany, barefoot influencers. We have our barefoot coach. We create videos that we put on our YouTube channel. So we do things like that to make people, yeah, how can I say, take more care of their feet and keep their feet healthy. Even they have to wear work shoes for 8, 10 hours a day and 5 days a week. So we want to do that, and we were doing it already.
And then last but not least, where do you see the barefoot shoe industry evolving in the future? Do you think there will be more brands or more people are going to be more accepting, especially those who are maybe not used to barefoot shoes, or even like how is the barefoot shoe industry just going to change in the future?
You can see already that a lot of, how can I say, old, let's say, old shoe companies who are in the market for very long already, and made regular shoes, that now they move to make barefoot shoes also. In the US, for instance, Merrell
Hmm.
also has a barefoot shoe line. They did not have before, but they moved into and made a barefoot shoe line. That is what I see from many companies in Europe also. They had regular type of shoes with the heel spring as always in the past, but they also now tend to make barefoot shoes. So that is for the, let's say, casual shoe market. For the safety shoe, yeah, unfortunately, I think that we will get some competitors also in the safety shoe business because the demand is there and the demand is getting bigger. Yeah, there is a market. We see it, how successful we are with selling them. But yeah, we have a good head start. So the others would need to work hard to reach us.
Yeah, I love it. I think everyone who are in the trade of construction should definitely look into these type of shoes that gives that room enough for their foot, but it's also protecting, like you said, from any type of surfaces, things that could affect their feet, And I think that this is one of the more comfortable shoes, especially for safety shoes. In that genre, but very comfortable, and I think it's going to be great for you guys, because you guys are leading the way. You are also have years of experience in the safety shoe, and people who might be looking to get some more feedback or give you feedback, they're just going to continue to come back and learn more about what you guys have to offer. So to end off,
Yeah,
Karsten,
I think.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just wanted to say that many of our competitors, they are in the market since 100 years or something like that. And they always made safety shoes, and they always made it the same way. And I think they did not think enough on how to improve the shoes, or how to not only keep the feet safe, but also healthy. And that is our advantage, that we said we concentrate on the foot. We don't make shoes as we made them all the time, but we made shoes for the foot. The foot needs to move freely and needs to stay healthy. And that is what we make shoes for. That is the point I actually wanted to say.
I'd love to close by having you share some information as far as ways that people who are interested to learn more about what you guys are doing, if they even have questions or concerns, how can they reach out to Baak? So if you want to share with us, email, a website, and of course Instagram.
We have Instagram. We have our website. We have a YouTube channel where people can also get information about our products. So I think the best way to contact us would be via Instagram, because when questions come in, they would be sent to the one who could answer them best. So I think that is the easiest way. Just message us on Instagram if you have a question, if you have an inquiry. The shoes can be ordered via our website if you want to. We also sent several already to the US, where customers ordered from the US. So it is not so easy, also because of the tariffs, I guess, but it is possible. So contact us on Instagram or the website at info@baak.de. There are ways to contact us.
Perfect.
And
Karsten,
reply as soon as possible.
thank you, Karsten. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge and your experience with your shoe. I think this is great. Like I said, for those who are still loving barefoot shoes or who are thinking about it, please go visit and learn more. And definitely try them on, because I think it's gonna definitely help them. I don't know. This year I've made a focus on foot health, but not just those who are in an active population, but even those who are in blue collar, white collar jobs. And I think that's a a population that's misserved, underserved, I should say. So definitely, thank you so much for hopping on.
You're welcome. It was really a pleasure. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yes, likewise. And those of you who are following, don't forget to subscribe to the Stretch to Go podcast. We release new episodes every 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.